everybody, welcome to another living room edition of Baseball Night in New York. It's brought to you by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers, Doug Williams alongside Todd, Zeile, and Anthony Recker, a couple former big league catchers. That will be especially important in today's game, which is called Batterymates. We'll get to that in just a couple minutes. Before we do, our first topic of the day, last decade of New York Mets baseball. Anthony Recker, if you had to choose a player other than yourself, who you think would have been the most entertaining player in a Mets uniform, the most fun to watch in a Mets uniform since 2010, who would that be?
I'm going to go with Lucas Duda. I think he just brought a different vibe into the clubhouse. He was kind of a different guy anyway, kept to himself at times, but if he let you in, he was like a really, really funny guy. We had a guy who used to come into the cages and he had this huge tennis ball machine. He used to spit out tennis balls at 120, 130. I don't even know how. It was insane how fast they would come at you. And you'd have to try to read the number on them, the shape on them, the color on them, whatever it was. Lucas would sit in there for, I swear, it felt like hours a day, just hitting off this thing. And he would get like 20, 30 feet away from it with these tennis balls flying at him.
I said David Wright, and that's a pretty obvious answer to a lot of Mets fans. I think for me, there is that personal connection, which is, I think, what Reck was going at. David Wright came to the big leagues in 2004. He and I shared the same agent. That was my last season. I kind of had an opportunity to put him under my wing, which didn't take a whole lot of mentoring because this guy came out of the chute flying. To me, he is the guy that I felt most attached to and most interested to watch. And, close second, Jacob deGrom. How can you not love watching that guy?
Yeah, deGrom would be my number one, but David Wright is a great number one as well. I just think deGrom, since his career really started, watching him dominate is entertaining. Watching him struggle without his best stuff and still give you, at the worst, 6 innings, 2 runs, I think is also fascinating. Okay, it's time for a game we call Batterymates. Basically, the goal here is to see how well these two guys know each other, a la the Newlywed game. Going to ask one of you a series of a question, and then the answers, multiple choice style, will be chosen by the other. Whoever ends up with the most points wins. The most correct answers wins. The loser, I hate to say it, will have some sort of punishment coming down the line. It may be a tweet. I'll give it away. They're going to have to tweet something that they probably wouldn't want to otherwise. Okay, ready to go? For Anthony, you will begin. Which Met does Todd think is poised for a breakout season? Is it A, Jeurys Familia, B, Amed Rosario, C, Michael Conforto, or D, Edwin Diaz?
I'm going to take B, Amed Rosario.
Ding, 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 ding. That is correct. Okay, Todd. Which Met does Anthony think is poised for a breakout season? Is it A, Seth Lugo, B, Steven Matz, C, Michael Conforto, or D, Amed Rosario?
Wow. He went right to Amed on me, but I'm going to say that he said Steven Matz.
And
nope.
He said C, Michael Conforto.
I mentioned that Conforto at the time, it just seemed like he was ready to take, to me, that superstar jump, to really become not just an all-star once, but an all-star multiple times and potentially get in an MVP type of conversation.
Number 3, this is for Anthony. Who is the most demanding manager that Todd ever played for? Is it A, Joe Torre, B, Bobby Valentine, C, Jim Leland, D, Davey Johnson?
I'm thankful that there is a multiple choice here because, Todd, I know you played on a lot of teams.
So I did.
There's
a lot more
possibilities here.
Dave's list goes about another 7 people. So there you go.
I'm gonna take Jim Leland here.
Correct. The correct answer is Jim
I think
Leland.
I'm more obvious, right? Okay. The reason I said Leland is because I came into that situation having been traded with Mike Piazza from the Dodgers to the Marlins at a point where Leland had won a World Series championship with the Marlins and then was dismantling the entire team. So it was me and essentially 22 rookies and, somebody with maybe 2 years experience. And so he was more of a disciplinarian teacher and trying to set these guys straight that, hey, you guys are in the big leagues because we've traded all our big leaguers and you guys are what's left.
Todd, you might be able to guess our next question for you. Who is the most demanding manager Anthony ever played for? Is it A, Tony DeFrancesco, B, Brian Snitker, C, Terry Collins, or D, Bob Melvin?
I mean, to me, it's got to be Terry Collins, but that's probably. Let's see what Rex said.
Tony DeFrancesco.
Yeah, I would
Todd,
not have thought that. Yeah,
That's almost an unfair
I look
question
like
right
I'm
there.
on my way to a
'cause-
tweet here soon.
All right, Anthony, which pitcher did Todd most enjoy facing? Was it A, Greg Maddux, B, Tom Glavine, C, Brad Penny, or D, Roger Clemens?
Most enjoy facing. Gosh, none of those sound fun. I'm going to go with C, Brad Penny.
See, that was tricky to put that in there. His answer was D, Roger Clemens. I believe Todd had a running feud with Brad Penny, so that's definitely not the answer. Why Roger Clemens?
I think Roger, because Roger was at the height of his game when I was coming up, and he was Cy Young Award winner. And I think the intensity that you saw and that Mets fans came to hate about him was part of what I liked about stepping in the box against him. You're facing the best, and he's a challenge. And I happen to have good success against him too. So I enjoyed every time I come to the ballpark and he was going to be on the mound.
I like asking hitters this question because they always say, "Yeah, it was always a challenge. Yeah, I did hit 400 against him, but yeah, it was always a battle." All right, Anthony. Let's see what your answer is. Todd, which pitcher did Anthony most enjoy facing? A, Tanner Roark, B, Max Scherzer, C, Bartolo Colon, or D, Gio Gonzalez?
I'm thinking about this. I think that he liked facing Colon because the former teammates are always fun to go up against.
Man, you have a tweet coming, Todd.
Oh, come on.
I think you're eliminated.
I should have taken your hint there. I like to face this guy Scherzer. He's pretty good, but I have pretty good success against him.
Yeah, so let me guess. That's going to be your answer. Such a competitor, real bulldog out there, and somehow I had some success against him. Is that true, Anthony?
That's pretty much exactly my answer. And I wanted to throw a hint out to Todd. I wanted to throw him a bone and just say, Todd, think along the same lines.
What was Todd's worst subject in school? Was it A, English literature, B, sociology/anthropology? Interesting that those are the same. C, Spanish, or D, woodworking?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna go with sociology/anthropology.
And Todd's worst subject was English/literature. Fun fact, Todd's best subject was woodworking. He actually made that nice little table behind him.
Thank you.
In that
Thanks
shot.
for noticing, Doug. Yeah, I appreciate the noticing.
That came from your hard
that
work.
gives me something to do when we're confined to a space. I've been whittling a little bit extra too. So,
okay, Todd, last chance. You have the punishment coming. That's already in the cards. But
math. No.
What was Anthony's worst subject in school? A, English, B, art history, C, biology, or D, calculus?
Gosh, I'm gonna say everybody's hated subject is calculus. So let's give a shot to calculus.
See, you guys
English.
are more similar, than you even knew. Anthony wins Battery Mates. So here's what's going to happen. Normally we do this in studio, and there's a punishment. As Todd knows well from his pre and post game days, that comes from the mind of Gerard Guilfoyle, our coordinating producer. This will air right around 6 o'clock tonight. By that time, Todd will have tweeted something ridiculous. Todd, what's your Twitter handle to anyone watching?
You know what? That's a great question. I'm such a big.
I shouldn't have asked. I knew you weren't going to.
Todd and underscore Zeile. I think it's pretty obvious. I didn't go really abstract on that one.
Well, whether you're abstract or not, maybe you should probably know it. Yeah. Todd _Zeile.
See, there you go. That's part of my English, recollection right there. I read it once, and I don't know what I'm making up at this point.
All right, guys. So this is really fun, entertaining as always. Maybe as we do more of these shows, we'll get to know each other a little bit better. We'll play this game again down the line. You guys will go like 4 for 4, 5 for 5. Anthony Recker, Todd Zeile, we appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.